Namaste, Pranam, Gita Dhyana. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Grathitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitam Ritavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Ambatva manusandadhami Bhagavad Gite Bhavadveshinim. O Bhagavad Gita, with which Lord Narayana himself gave enlightenment to Partha. The ancient sage Vyasa included it in the Mahabharata. O goddess, showerer of the nectar-like knowledge of non-dualism contained in your 18 chapters, O my affectionate mother, the destroyer of rebirth, I meditate upon thee. Krishna Vandana. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansachanura Mardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Son of Vasudeva, the slayer of Kansa and Chanur, extreme delight for Mother Devaki, O Lord Krishna, the supreme teacher of the universe, my salutations to you. The Traya Vibhag Yoga 14th Adhyay and Sri Krishna is almost opening up that secret of how to know a person who has become Gunatita, who has gone beyond the Gunas and almost on the verge of getting liberated from this cycle of birth and death. And Sri Krishna told us that such a person who crosses over the Gunas is always balanced. His attitude is always balanced. He doesn't get swayed like a pendulum, going this side once and going that side once. If something good happens, oh, that is wonderful, I'll start jumping. And if something bad happens, I will just start crying and crying and crying. If somebody honors me, I will be so happy. I will be such a great admirer of that person who honors me. And what if someone dishonors me? Better that person look for his or her own safety. If that person dishonors me, disrespects me, censures me. So that is what normally happens. But one who has crossed over the Gunas, he takes both the instances with the same balanced attitude. Somebody has said good, fine. Somebody has said bad, fine. And that person is also same, remains unperturbed. His attitude is same towards the friends and foes. Absolutely no difference between a special consideration for a friend, a very biased outlook for friend, and absolutely unbiased outlook for friend and totally biased outlook for the enemies. That doesn't happen in the case of Gunatita. And this Gunatita, this person who has crossed over the Gunas, he never boasts of initiating any action on his own, on her own, because all the actions are the Lord's. That person knows that he or she is just an instrument and he or she actually is not the karta, and therefore there is the sarvarambha parityagi. So this is what Krishna had told us in the previous shloka that we read in answer to Arjuna's question of how does such a person conduct himself or herself who has crossed over the Gunas. So, mana apamana tulyaha tulyo mitrari pakshayoho. Mana apamana tulyaha. Whether it is honor or dishonor, same, the reaction is nothing jubilant for mana, jubilant for honor, or not frustration, not anger over apamana. The reaction is same. Tulyaha, it is balanced reaction. And tulyaha mitrari pakshayoho, for both the friends as well as the foe's side. The attitude is same. It is say both are same, to be treated in the same manner. If I meet my friend, it is not that I just hug and I express my all those friendly emotions. Or if there is my enemy comes in front of me, it is not that suddenly I catch hold of his collar and I start beating him. No. To a friend also, he will say hi, and to the enemy also, that person will say hi, hello, how are you? It is not that expression of love, affection towards friends and expression of anger and frustration towards the enemies. No. Manapamana tulyaha mitra aripakshayoho. And then sarvaramba parityagi. I am not the doer of anything. The renouncer of abandoning all the undertakings. Renouncing all the undertakings, renouncing the ownership of all the undertakings that one has to do in one's life. I am doing it as a service to the Lord. The Lord has given me this opportunity to do this work. The Lord has chosen me to do this work. It is Lord's work. It is not my work. And with that attitude, when a person works, Sri Krishna says, know for sure that person has gone beyond the gunas. He has become a gunatita. So that was addressing the how the person conducts oneself. How a person who has crossed over the gunas conducts oneself. That was the answer to Arjuna's second question in that 21st verse. And now the third verse, the third shloka, that how is it that this person is able to cross over? That Trin gunan ativartate. What makes this person go beyond the three gunas? Now, Sri Krishna has told how that person behaves. Sri Krishna has told how that person conducts himself or herself. And now Sri Krishna is going to address that third aspect of Arjuna's questions. That third aspect of how does one actually cross over? What is that process that one does? Is it that that person sits for doing japa and meditation for years together to cross over the gunas? So Sri Krishna says, it is not like that. Sri Krishna says the way of crossing over the gunas, the process of crossing over the gunas that such gunatit undertake is extremely simple. And what is that? Let us hear from Sri Krishna's mouth. This is Mam chayo avyabhicharena bhaktiyogena sevate guṇānsamatītyaitān brahmabhūyāya kalpate. Sri Krishna says it is not that these people are doing any, the magnificent deeds which are extremely difficult for the beings to perform. They are doing very simple things. But that simple thing is not so easy for that matter. Sri Krishna says, Yaha avyabhicharena bhaktiyogena mam sevate. And one who with unswerving devotion, vyabhicharena is swerving, sometimes here, sometimes there. Sometimes we get influenced by so many things in this world. Even we keep on jumping from one guru to another for that matter. Today is this person we treat as guru. Next moment we start considering that fellow as the great and we change our devotion, we change our inclination towards what that person is saying. But avyabhicharena is unswerving. Once I have selected one person as my guru, one thing as my ishta, I'll stick to it come what may till that person, till that guru, till that ishta takes me ashore. Till then, I am not going to leave that person. So, yaha avyabhicharena bhaktiyogena mam sevate. One who with unswerving bhaktiyogena, unswerving bhakti yoga, with unswerving devotion, one who serves me. one who surrenders to me, the Lord, that person. Sa gunan samatitya, saha guṇānsamatītyaitān, brahmabhūyāya kalpate. Etan brahmabhūyāya kalpate. That person who with unswerving devotion surrenders to me, that person, guṇānsamatītyaitān, having crossed beyond the gunas, having won over the gunas, having got oneself released from the clutches of the gunas, that person, with that unswerving devotion to me, that person, etan, these people, such aspirants, brahmabhūyāya kalpate. Such person is fit. Kalpate is fit, is capable of brahmabhūyāya, of becoming Brahman itself. So this is what Sri Krishna says. And this is the process that the Gunatita, they undertake. They devote themselves unswervingly. They take shelter at the feet of the Lord with unswerving devotion. It is not a flickering devotion. It is like an unswerving flame of the lamp. It is such a steady flame. You won't find that flame flickering at all. Then that kind of devotion at the lotus feet of the Lord, they take shelter. They sevate. They just surrender themselves, these people. And having surrendered to the Lord, automatically in this manner, they cross over the three gunas. They just walk over the clutches of these three gunas. guṇānsamatītyaitān. Atitya is going beyond. Having gone beyond the three gunas by their unswerving devotion to me, Sri Krishna says, such people, they become one with Brahman. They become one with the Paramatman. Then there is no birth and death, and there is absolute moksha, there is absolute nirvana, there is absolute enlightenment, illumination. He who serves me with unswerving devotion, going beyond the gunas, is fit for becoming Brahman. And that is the way towards liberation, Sri Krishna says. The process followed by these gunatita, unswerving devotion to the Lord. You don't need anything else. Once one is surrendering oneself with unswerving devotion to the Lord, all the things that Sri Krishna has told us in the previous three shlokas, how such a person conducts himself or herself, all those things, they automatically start following. And we see the symptoms. We see the symptoms of that person as gunatita. So that is Sri Krishna's answer to Arjuna's question of how such a person, what are the signs of such a person, how such a person behaves, and what is his conduct like, and what is the process by which they become gunatita. What is the process by which they go beyond the gunas? So now the Sri Krishna has completely exposed the entire secret before us. How to cross over the gunas. Nothing. We have to just surrender. Surrender with unswerving devotion, one-pointed devotion to the Lord. With that, we cross over the three gunas. We go beyond the gunas. And once we go beyond the gunas, Sri Krishna says, such a person is then fit to become one with the Brahman. Then there is a total escape for the Jivatman from these infinitudinal bodies of this species, of that species, birth, old age, decay, death. All this is freed from the moment one starts behaving like this. One adopts this process of total surrender at the holy feet of the Lord. Extreme devotion surges in the heart of the devotee who has made himself over to the Lord. That is the ultimate end of the devotion. When we surrender ourselves to Lord, when we take up total sharanagati, then that is the ultimate devotion. He has nothing but Narayana to cognize both within and without, and then it is nothing but the Lord. The Lord is inside, the Lord is outside. The Lord is dwelling in, the same Lord is there outside in this whole creation. Each and every being in this creation is the manifestation of the same ultimate principle, the same ultimate truth. This intense fervor ends with once becoming Brahman, once becoming one with the Brahman, once attaining that Brahmajnana and becoming Brahman. That as darkness disappears when the light comes, the three gunas disappear when the dawn of Brahmajnana takes place. The moment this light of Brahmajnana flickers, these three gunas, they just run away. Because the three gunas, they are in a way keeping us away from knowing what is our real nature. The three gunas, they are keeping us trapped in this cycle of birth and death. The three gunas, they make sure that we come again and again and again in this play of Mahamaya. But the moment we get that enlightenment, we get that illumination, we get that light of knowledge, the moment that light of knowledge is lit, the gunas run away. The moment gunas run away, our path to becoming one with the Brahman is absolutely open. And that's when Sri Krishna says, such a person becomes one with me. Now, on this particular shloka, Sri Ramakrishna has given a wonderful example and a wonderful teaching to the devotees. Sri Ramakrishna says, the devotee sees Ishvara in many forms. During the initial stage of a spiritual journey, a devotee sees Ishvara in many forms. A person may start seeing his Ishta Devata, the chosen ideal. He may start seeing it in so many other manifestations. His family members, his friends, people around him. Why only people? Even the animals and beasts around him. The person starts seeing Lord, all these beings as the manifestation of that same Lord. But these are different forms. These are different forms. These are Lord in different forms. So that is what happens at the initial phase of the journey. But when he gets into Samadhi, this very Ishvara is realized by him as the formless, infinite Nirguna Brahman. When the aspirant starts moving towards the end of the journey, what happens? Then all this concept of deity and Ishvara and the forms, it just vanishes. It just vanishes. And that devotee realizes the formless aspect of the God. All forms vanish. Then there is no God, there is no goddess, there is no being. All the forms, they just vanish as the manifestations of the Lord. Only thing that remains is the formless entity, the Nirguna Brahman, towards the end of the journey. It is in this realization that bhakti and jnana get harmonized. Till the end point of this journey, I know I am different, that person is different. I have the knowledge. I have that jnana, that the same Lord dwells in me and the other person. The same Lord dwells in me and the entire creation, but the differentiation of me and the other, that remains. That jnana, that intellect, it makes us believe that we are different, although manifestation and the same entity manifesting in everyone. But we are still different. And as the journey progresses, all these forms start getting disappeared. These forms start getting vanished. There is no form then. It is only the avyaya anadi tattva, Brahma, the Paramatman, that Parama Purusha. And then with that realization, one becomes merged with the Brahman. So that was Sri Ramakrishna's teaching to the devotees. How, like Sri Krishna has told, how one crosses over the gunas by sheer devotion, unswerving devotion, and one becomes one with the Brahman. All the differences, they disappear. All the differences of me and you, they disappear. There is no me, there is no you. There is no me, there is no he or she. And everything becomes one. All the forms disappear, and it is only the formless entity, the Nirguna Brahman, which remains, and we merge in that. So that is how the journey comes to an end, according to what Sri Krishna has told to Arjuna in this 26th shloka of the Gunatraya Vibhag Yoga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sri Krishna Arpanamastu. Jai Sri Ramakrishna. Jai Thakur. Jai Ma. Jai Swamiji.